The argument is that with USAID, it was funding the Uniparty, which was Republicans and Democrats as well. I don't know. You know, it's circuitous. I wouldn't call it conspiratorial because the money is traceable. You can actually see that, like, this organization received money from USAID and then donated money to these activist groups. It's all there. The intent is a question. But if the U.S. goes in, if like Elon and Rubio or whatever, they go in and say, no, we're just going to make sure that all that money goes to, like, you know, Bible study or something like that. That could dramatically shift things in a way that's worse than just shutting it down. Right now, they shut it down. The deep state says, dang, we lose our funding. They reappropriate all that funding in the populist direction, and it's game over.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I kind of like it. Maybe we should petition that.
Well, Rubio's saying he doesn't want to shut it down.
I'm not sure what policies, you know, you should be focusing that money on if we were to do that, right? Like
1776 curriculum in every public school.
I don't think that that's going to take that much money.
No, it's probably
you know, like I think that the actual things that the Republicans or conservatives want the government to do probably don't take as much money as is being cleaned up. And again, this is just discretionary, right? So even if you took that excess money, did a couple things that conservatives like, and threw the rest of it at mandatory spending, you don't do anything about the coming economic crisis.
No, you know what you do is you redirect the USAID funding to helping women afford pregnancies. You pay for every single pregnancy in the country as long as they're married. That's how you do it. And that would shift so much power back to, and Tim, I think we've talked about this on your show because we did this report years ago. It was like 2019. And we studied the impact that family structure has on voting behavior and ideology. If you're married and have kids, you're way more conservative. And if you come from a household of a married mom and dad that didn't get divorced, didn't, you know, cohabitate, you are way more likely to be conservative than their never married peers.
Enforced monogamy.
They just incentivize monogamy.
No, Jordan Peterson got yelled at by the liberals for this. Enforced monogamy is just the sociological term for when a society has pressures on wanting you to be monogamous. So, like, back in the day, if you were a woman and you were not married, you were a spinster, and so there was a shame involved in it. Enforced monogamy was then taken to imply that Jordan Peterson was saying the government should force women to marry incels. That's not what he was saying. He was saying that a society
that's a punishment
should have, like, its own guardrails. This is what people need to understand. That Mary, you made a really great point about how government can't really do much to change these things. You can't rely on the stroke of a pen. The moment you're writing things down to make them happen, you're already in trouble. Mm-hmm. Society needs to dictate its own rules. Mm-hmm. And we have a degenerate, immoral, amoral society right now.
Well, I think a lot of that
we're winning. We're winning. It's shifting.
We're starting to win, but a lot. We have this report that's coming out later this week. We analyzed all of the funding streams that the federal government's using to push gender ideology on our kids and throughout our entire culture. It is over $100 million at least, right? This is insane. It's like government is doing so much to cause dysfunction that if you were to just get the government to stop doing the programs that are causing dysfunction, I think you'd have a lot of healing that would naturally start happening.
I don't think we're winning. I don't think we're winning at all. People just look at the end of a battle and they look at Trump winning an election and they think that's the end of a war. And that's incredibly naive.
I don't know.
Short-sighted.
I don't think it's over. I hope people
it's
don't.
Far from over.
I don't think people think it's
not
done
even
yet.
Close to over. We're not winning. We're not winning the culture. We're not.
I disagree. The popular vote shows a cultural shift. It doesn't mean that we've won the culture, but we are winning. And then you look at was it Rachel Maddow's key demo average was 68,000? Like we have like just about that much watching live at one moment. And that was her like cap viewership in the demo. So I do think it's a big mistake of Trump and his team to start defending TikTok all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. That's going to flip on a dime in 2 seconds and start pushing Dylan Mulvaney all over again. But I think Trump wins. Facebook backs off censorship. YouTube does as well. Rumble's expanding. Just got $1 billion investment from Tether. There's tons of cultural victories, and we've been gaining. I think with Trump's victory, a popular vote win for the first time in 20 years, we are gaining ground.
But doesn't it signify that there's like a real shift in people and where they get their news from? I mean, I think that's the most hopeful thing is people really don't watch CNN or MSNBC anymore. They are going to Timcast, and they're going to Rogan, and they're going to all these other sources. It's becoming decentralized, which is a beautiful thing because it's one less tool that the state can use. And we're expected to believe that the FBI and the CIA and USAID, that they do regime change and operations in every other country except the United States.
Well,
It's garbage. Everyone knows that that's not true.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.